Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Voices of SRCC. We are honored to have with us Ms. Renu Agarwal, Associate Professor in the Department of Commerce and an alumna of SRCC. With her expertise in management, marketing, and strategic thinking, she has mentored and inspired generations of students. To begin, how would you describe your experience of teaching at SRCC? What was your initial impression when you joined the faculty, and how has your relationship with this institution evolved over the years?
So SRCC, as was said in the introduction, has been my home since 1982 because I was a student here in undergrad and then I joined here as faculty in 1990. So, for almost 40 years I've been coming here to the college. So of course it was a very momentous occasion when I joined here as a faculty after having been a student. And to find that my colleagues are now professors who were teaching me earlier. So it was a humbling experience as well as a moment of intense pride.
What is something you believed in strongly as a young academic that you no longer agree with today?
As a young academic, one tends to be very idealistic. And you are very, very strict with students. Either you perform or you don't perform. And you are not willing to listen to any excuses or anything. And things are very black and white. There are no grays. So as you mature, as you grow into the role of a senior academic, you realize that there are a lot of gray areas. And sometimes kids who may not be, excellent at performing initially, once given a slow encouragement and patience, often end up shaping well. So it's taught me to not rely on first impressions and, give more time and try to get the background stories of the kids in order to understand them better and to motivate them perhaps. So this is one thing that has really changed.
You've had the privilege of seeing SRCC students grow into CAs, corporate professionals, and entrepreneurs. When a student comes back and says, "Ma'am, that class changed how I think," what does that mean to you, and how have such moments shaped the way you approach teaching over time?
So this is one of the deepest compliments that a student can really give you. And this is the most important takeaway that we have as a teacher. And this has happened over a few times in the past. And it's not only, the class or anything, it could even be an action of discipline. That I remember one of my students, he was somebody who would consistently come half an hour late to the class. And this was the first period at 8:40. And so he would say, "Ma'am," he would go for some sports sessions in the gym and then would need a shower and then come. So I told him that, okay, I'll give you a half an hour buffer, but then that means you need to be here on time. And this boy, I don't know, you may have heard of him. He's one of the more well-known alum of our college, Neil Ghosh, who is also the founder of the Robin Hood Army. All right. And this is something that he remembered. And, so a lot of students remember these instances, and this makes us feel deeply gratified that we have shaped the way they were and have turned out to be as the high achievers later on. So yes, this makes us want to get the best out of our students and hold them to high standards. So sometimes they don't like it because you are making them work extra hard, but I believe ultimately it pays off in the long run.
Given your journey from student to professor, what is something you see students today tend to overestimate in importance at this stage of life? And conversely, what is something they tend to underestimate?
One thing I feel that the students at the level of the college at this undergraduate stage are overestimating is the comparison and where they stand in comparison to their peers and others in the college, and how the others might be judging them and evaluating them. And this makes them take up unnecessary stress, which is totally avoidable. And what they are underestimating is their ability to meet and face these challenges. And as I said, peak in their own time. So there is no one right time for peaking for everyone. Everyone peaks at different times. And this is something that students, I wish today, would realize that. And there is no race that they are running against anyone. Basically, they just have to figure out what would give them happiness in life, and then focus on that, irrespective of what anyone else is doing.
Building on that, how do you distinguish between a high-performing student who gets the grades and a high-potential thinker who will make an impact? What do you look for?
Any day, I would look for a high-grade thinker who will make an impact. Because any student who shows a sign of having the ability to think independently and without having to push themselves against some predetermined standards is the one who will ultimately do something in life and make their mark. And I've had many of these students over the years who've set up one of the college journals, and when they came, they said, "Ma'am, how come SRCC as a commerce college has no journal for students? And before we pass out, we'll make sure that there is one." So the first one they financed on their own, and later on the college took it under its own wing, and it became a something which is there on a continuous basis. So I'm not denying the importance of performance. Performance is also important, but performance without the ability to think deeply and critically alone will never be enough for success, whether as a person or whether in your career.
If you had to leave students with one principle or way of thinking that tends to hold true over time, what would it be?
So the one piece of advice I would like to leave with the students or the younger generation today is actually dating back to many thousands of years back, the Stoic philosophy. So the Stoics believed that focus on what you can control, all right, and do not take stress on things that you can't control. And today, unfortunately, you are living in an era which is full of uncertainty. So here you have faced a pandemic, you are looking at a war. All kinds of things are happening today which one had not even thought about in the past. So the one way of being able to face all these is, as I said, focus on what you can control. And here I would like to say that one important phrase, and I think I'm coining it myself as we speak, is learnability. So your ability to constantly learn and pivot is something that will be crucial to success in the future. If I understand what you're doing correctly, you are trying to link the different generations that have been a part of this story, especially right now in our centenary year. So you are linking the past to the present to the future and finding the things which are relevant and will continue to be relevant, and also what has changed. So I think this is an extremely important initiative to make one feel the sense of legacy that you have inherited, and to be justifiably proud of your achievements.